everybody, good morning. This is a video lesson on how to solve the problems on the ALEKS assignment called Exponents. I know what many of you are thinking. You're saying, Mr. Stoker, your shirt and everything you're wearing looks exactly the same as it did when you did the video on our knowledge check. Yes, it did. I made the video right after I made the knowledge check video. So that's why it looks the same. All right, enough of that. I don't want to waste a ton of your time. We got 9 example problems to go through. I'm going to show you, again, how to solve these problems. Remember that what you see on my screen isn't necessarily the same problem that you're going to watch, but I will show you how to solve that problem, okay? I have made this an unlimited question attempt and also an unlimited amount of submissions. I will get your best score. The assignment starts today. You have today, tomorrow, and the day after that. So there's 3 days to finish it and submit me your highest score. Okay. Examples are included for every problem, so you can pull them up and read it. Okay. So for example, like on this problem that we're looking at right here, we have on mine 2 to the 5th power. So 2 to the 5th power means I'm taking 2 and multiplying it by itself 5 times because we have a base of 2 and an exponent of 5. To evaluate it, though, I would simply just go 2, and then I'd hit my exponent key, and 5, and my answer would be 32, and I would simply click there, and I would enter 32. And that's the end of that one. All right, 1 and 2 are pretty much the same, different numbers. And I will always check my answer to make sure I got it right. And I did. Okay, number 3. Number 3 deals with order of operations. If you don't remember your order of operations, definitely look at the example. But it's parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication and division left to right as they appear in the problem, and then addition and subtraction left to right. So the first thing you have to look at is, are there parentheses of any kind? And if there's not, then you don't evaluate them. Then what you do is you evaluate the exponents. So first thing I'm going to do is 4 squared. So I'm going to do 4 to the 2nd power, and that gives me 16. Then I have to do any multiplication or division that I see. That's addition, so I have to multiply 16, the value of 4 squared, by 2, and that is 16 times 2, which is 32. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is add 6 to 32. So I'm going to do 32 plus 6 and have an answer of 38. Okay? The other nice thing is that for the most part, if you were to do 6 plus 4 squared times 2, you're also going to get the same answer, because if you're using a scientific calculator, it is going to use whatever you put in and apply the order of operations to it. All right? There's number 3. Number 5. Okay, number 5 deals with what happens if you're taking a negative number and using a exponent of 3 versus a negative number with an exponent of 2. So for the first one, I have, and again, just enter it like it looks. Use the parentheses, negative 5, close those, exponent key into the third, and you get negative 125. So that would be negative 125. And then for here, negative 9, you're going to want to do parentheses, and then negative 9, and square it up, and you get 81. So I would enter that on here. And remember, we've talked about negative numbers and odd exponents and negative numbers and even exponents. So you know what to do there. And did Mr. Stoker get it right? He did. Number 7. On this one, what you're looking at is, this is a little secret of math that they don't tell you for some reason, but this negative sign out in front here means that it's negative 1 times 9 squared. So what I'm going to do for this is I'm actually doing, negative 1. I don't write the 1 I just write that negative sign and it means -1. Then I'm going to put 9. Then I'm going to close my parentheses, and then I'm going to square it. And at this point, you'll get -81 because what you have to do is square 9 to get 81. Then you multiply that positive 81 times -1, and that's why it's -81. And if you need to read that, the example, do that. I mean, I'm a read person, so I probably would go back and read just to make sure that, Mr. Stoker knows what he's talking about and you understand it. And then on the next one, you have -1 times -3, and you are taking that one to the, make sure I have it right, third power also. So I'm going to come back here, third, and then you can see in this one, you get a positive number. Now why? Again, -3 times -3 times -3 would give you -27, but you have to multiply it by this -1 that's just a negative sign. Again, it's a -1. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's there. So your answer there would be 27, and you come in here and enter that, and then make sure you got it right. And we do. Moving on to number 9. So this one, they want you to simplify. And if you think about it this way, u times u squared times u to the 4th means u times, and u squared, so I would have u times u, and then u to the 4th. I would have u times u times u times u. And at this point, I should have 7 u's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do. One way that you can do this a little bit faster is if you think about it, if there's no number up here by the u, that means it's an exponent of 1. And then when you have 2 and 4, what you can really do is just add the exponents. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. So your answer you could enter is actually u to the 7th power. Check that. Boom. Yes, it was done. Okay. Let's go to number 11. Here they want me to write this without exponents. So b to the 3rd times b squared. That's just what I showed you. So I have b to the 3rd, I have b times, and since it's repeated multiplication, I'm going to use this. So b times b times b times b times b. So there's b to the 3rd, there's b squared. Now they want me to fill in the blank. How many b's are up there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So b to the 5th. And that's how you would solve that one. Question 13. Okay, guys, this one deals with the idea that any number to the 0 power is 1. So watch this. If I take a small number like 3 and raise it to the 0 power, I get 1. If I take a large number like 1,365 and raise it to the 0 power, I get 1. If I have a negative number, now I'm going to use parentheses to indicate that negative number, because if I don't, then the calculator is going to read it as a -1. It gets back to that -1 thing. But if I take -7 to the 0 power, I get 1, okay? So for these problems, I'm telling you right now, on this one, I have -7 to the 0 power. I just did that. You saw it's 1. But down here, I have -1 times 4/5 to the 0 power. Well, again, remember that -1 and why I told you you had to account for that. So I have -1 times 4/5, and then I close my parentheses. Not there. Don't close there. Close. There, I had to click outside of that. Then raise that to the 0 power. I get an answer of -1. And again, 4/5 to the 0 power is 1. And then I'm multiplying by -1. So 1 times -1 gives me -1. So my answer here would be -1. Check. Boom. Nailed it. Done. Nailed it. I like The Office. Okay, number 15 is fairly simple. Number 15, all you're doing is evaluate the expression when n equals 6. So this is just n squared minus 17, and n is 6. So again, I just come to my calculator, and I honestly would go 6, let me make sure I have this right, 6 squared minus 17. So I'm going to have 6 squared, then minus 17, and my answer is 19. So I would enter 19 and check it, and I'm good there. And then lastly, 17. Evaluate the expression when y equals 3 and z equals x. So here's my recommendation for this one where you have to substitute a bunch. What I would do is this, is I would enter the numerator first. I would do z squared minus 4y. So z is 6, y is 3. So I have 6 squared minus 4 times 3. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to do 6 squared minus 4 times 3. And I'm going to get 24. I'm just going to leave that 24 sit in that calculator. If you're using a different calculator, maybe use scrap paper and write it down. Then I need to divide 24 by the value of y. And in this case, it's 3. So now I'm going to do 24, not 204, 24 divided by 3, and my answer is 8. So if I've evaluated that correctly and put 8 in there, I am correct. Okay, and I was. All right, and that is your lesson today for exponents. As I said, you have today, tomorrow, and the following day to get this done and submitted into Alex. You have unlimited attempts to try questions. If you don't get it right, you could try another one. If you're not happy with your score, you can do the assignment again. And you have as many times as you want to do it over the next 3 days. So, don't forget, examples are there. And other than that, good luck, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.